If you struggle to move on from someone you loved, take a walk with me. I want you to know that it's normal to still love them, think of them, and wonder what could have been, with all the infinite potentials that that relationship had. But all that potential didn't end with that relationship. You carry that with you everywhere you go, and a lot of what you're feeling are actually your feelings, especially if you're an anxious attacher. It's all the love that you have to give that you attribute to the other person because you think that they brought all of that out of you. When in reality, that's everything that you have to give that you chose to give to them. So when that relationship ended, you felt like you would never tap into those thoughts, feelings, or emotions ever again. And what you're experiencing right now is part of the grieving process that is very real. It's also understandable because of all of the memories that you have with this person. One thing you can do is begin to be honest with yourself about why that relationship ended. It wasn't all butterflies and roses, so feel free to take them off that pedestal that you put them on and allow yourself to see them as they actually are. Take the time to author the story of that relationship and to be honest with yourself. When you take the time to author your story of that relationship and you write it down, you begin to gain clarity over the problems and the situations that you faced. You may start to see patterns of behavior begin to reveal themselves to you. You begin to discover what you like and what you don't like. You may even uncover some new boundaries that you never thought of before that end up giving you your personal power back. And I know what you're thinking. What about closure? I just want closure. And it's awesome if somebody has the emotional capacity to be able to sit down and give that to you. But it's rare, and actual closure comes from you accepting the breakup and acknowledging that you weren't actually compatible, and if you were, you'd be together. And I get it, it's easier said than done. When people say this, it's often because they don't want to give up on the fantasy of what could have been. Because if you did, you'd have to recognize that that person never actually existed. And living in the fantasy of that person feels a whole lot better than letting go, especially if you have a scarcity mindset and a perceived lack of options in your area. And then when you do find someone in your area and you start to date them, you begin to compare them to your ex. And that comparison is making you the one that is emotionally unavailable. And if you find yourself telling yourself, I know that they love me, and that ultimately becomes your justification for doing a lot of things that are going to seem out of pocket, you'll find yourself chasing someone that's always going to be running away from you. And that statement is a denial of what you already know to be true. If love was truly enough, you'd be together. And if you have a child together, you need to seek to be the best co-parents that you can possibly be for them and use all the tools available to you to make that happen.